Okay, so in the last video we looked at text editors and browsers that we can use to write and view our HTML. But now I'm going to answer the big question, is HTML even relevant? Are we wasting our time here learning this stuff? Can't we just, go online and look up a template? So you see this all the time. You see this shrift between, do you want to code it or do you want to just drag and drop? The drag and drop engines are normally called WYSIWYG engines. What you see is what you get. These are 1UP, Squarespace, Wix, Weebly, the other stuff that you decide on a template, and then you basically kind of just paint by numbers in where you want stuff to go, and it makes the code for you. Now these are okay. This looks good. I mean, these are templates designed by designers. And actually, the problem that I have with that is not that you're not learning how to code, is that everything kind of starts looking the same online. There's no variation, there's no innovation or uniqueness. It's all kind of just the same. Everything kind of looks the same. We do not want to live in a boring world, ladies and gentlemen. We want to live in a world that is fun. Let my very happy voice now tell you this. We should live in a fun world. So the alternative to these drag and drop WYSIWYG engines is hand coding. And hand coding is an actual skill. It's knowing the syntax and knowing how to use it is a skill, and it helps you. And you can get customization that you want. You can get the satisfaction of making it yourself. And that's what I kind of learned from the bottom up, because I liked the satisfaction of writing a blank page and creating it myself. Not just dragging and dropping, but everything that I made was mine. It was cool. And if you were learning this because you want to be a web designer, nobody gets jobs by filling in templates. They get jobs by writing the actual code. But it's not about the job, guys. It's about the experience. So be happy with either. We all use Facebook. Facebook, even though you're creating a profile that's already kind of styled for you, everything on the page that you see is an HTML element. This could be a division element. This is an input element right here, where you can type something. These are HTML. This is HTML, what you're writing here. When you're checking out online, this is an image element. This is HTML. This is a select option. This is all coded with HTML and obviously other technologies too. But all the hypertext and all the stuff that we're writing is here. And even when you make Tumblr posts, is HTML. So you don't write the HTML yourself when you write Tumblr posts, but then Tumblr goes ahead and adds a code onto it, which then displays it properly on the website. Really, the entire internet is still made up of HTML. You cannot have it without it. That is a nice little mountain there. I'll never go there. So I don't know if you can hear my dogs barking or not, but they are barking at nothing. This is constant, 24 hours a day. Welcome to my life. So, right now in 2014, you see a lot about HTML5. Even if you're kind of aware of it, if you're keen on it, you've been seeing HTML5 come up more and more recently. Apple's Safari on their iOS products uses HTML5 instead of Flash. HTML5 is it's the newest generation of HTML. It adds things like audio tags, video tags, a canvas tag, which you can actually draw custom shapes with via JavaScript. And it kind of updates the syntax to make it more, semantically correct. So when you write a header, when you create a header section, instead of writing what we're going to see as a div tag and give it an ID of header, you just write header. Same with a nav. There's a nav element now, or an article element, so you can write an article inside of this element without kind of working the old way of making a section of the page and then giving it the ID of an article. And this will make sense more when we start looking at how to write the stuff that I'm doing. So the stuff that we're going to be writing in this class that I'm going to be showing you is, I would say, maybe a blend of HTML5 and the legacy versions of HTML that people are still writing and people have written before. So I'm going to be using IDs and classes for my sections, I'm going to be using div elements to break apart the page instead of using navigators and headers and asides and articles and all those new tags. A lot of the pages that we see online, even the new ones that are coming out, are still written in the older forms, kind of the standards that have been put in place and that people have learned HTML by. That's used regularly. But if you want to, be 100% current, after this class, I recommend looking up HTML5 and how it changes from the older versions of HTML. For this class, and for our case in particular, just consider HTML as HTML. We're not going to be writing HTML4, we're not going to be writing HTML5 or XHTML 1.0. We're just going to be writing hypertext markup language. So to recap what we've learned in these 3 lesson 1 videos, we looked at text editors and browsers, we looked at what HTML basically is, which is a series of tags and content inside of those tags. We've also looked at HTML versus drag and drop displays, WYSIWYGs, things that kind of make the pages for you. We've gotten a lot of stuff covered so far, but what we haven't covered are elements and the tags. So next week I'm going to introduce you guys to elements and the tags. That'll be on July 27th, we see here, or in the future, if you're watching this in the future. But that'll cover a more in-depth on how the tags work, what some of the tags are, how to think in tags, how some of the tags actually operate. We're going to learn the term nesting, which is putting tags inside of other tags. And I hope you guys stick around and watch next week's class. Have a good week, and I will see you on the internet.